All right. Yeah. Like those music intros. Okay, my name is Beau Flasher, and this is yet another video in the video series. I'm going to do a lot of these because there's a lot of big, subjects, right, to be covered. And I feel as though to do it all in one video would be a bit much, be like a 3-hour video. So I figured breaking it up, and those who choose to find these videos and maybe watch them and go through them will help, understand themselves a little more. The content is also available in a book form at awayunseen.com and beauflasher.com. It's a PDF download, and the book is called A Way Unseen. It describes my experience after severing 4 tendons in my arm and reaching a level of consciousness and understanding that I feel I can then help others see and reach as well. So today, we're going to be talking about choice. And to start off, I want to note that I feel as though when I talk to others that they feel that they don't have a choice. They feel, the majority, right? The majority of people feel as though they wake up and the day is set, the week is set, the year is set, their lives are basically set. And whether that's financial or the way in which they see themselves, right? The physicality, a lot of people feel as though they do not have a choice. And that couldn't be further from the truth. The choice to project from the mind, and I talk about that a lot, once you make that choice, you'll feel as though you don't have a choice because you're basically putting yourself in a filter. It's the exact same filter. It's like saying, well, when I go into this restaurant, these are the things I get. Well, yes, when you project out of the mind, that's the filter. That's exactly, you'll feel as though you don't have a choice. So the choice may be rooted back to the choice to project through the mind. And understanding that is key. Okay, understanding as to why we make that choice to project from the mind. And the root of that is fear and our primary fears and the way in which we guard those. And your reality, as seen by the eyes, may be sort of observed, right? You may choose to observe your reality and ask why. Why is it that I always tend to attract these type of people? Why is it that I don't push through these areas? Why is it that I reserve myself in these areas but not in these? Why is my room always incredibly clean? Why is my room always incredibly messy? There's a pattern, and your ability to apply focus and observe your reality is consciousness, right? Awareness of self, awareness, and looking around going, yeah, why is that? My eyes see one thing, but it seems as though I'm living a different reality. So you do have a choice. You do have a choice. Choosing to project from the mind may prove to lead you down a path where you feel as though you don't have a choice, but you do. I'm going to read a short excerpt. This is only a few sentences from the A Way Unseen book, available on awayunseen.com, which I'm not selling, by the way. I'm just getting the information out. I'm just the messenger. Choice is initiated on a level that we may choose to observe before the eyes choose to control. Choice is an internal response to the reality we see with our eyes. Choices made within the mind are received with a filter, much like a program. Choices one has made previously based on observations will affect those choices going forward. This is not a mandatory element in choosing a reality. We may choose to project from areas other than the mind. The mind itself is a choice. Now, I was never told that growing up, right? This was all new to me. I was, until I shredded my wrist and basically had my entire world just like an explosion. I mean, I was seeing thought forms. It was almost like areas of my own mind had exploded, and I was seeing like old events and going, wow, that's weird. That I can see all the way back to like my childhood, and where's all this stuff been? Just covered under layers and layers and layers of fear and choices made within the mind. And we feel as though when we're in the mind that we're bogged down, and I know the feeling. I remember it very well. You feel very, very much trapped, right? And it's just constant. It never stops. The thoughts, the feelings. It's like you're in a program. You're in a matrix, and there's no escape, right? And that's the feeling that we all have, and that is the crux of this experience on this density. Choice. The choice to see oneself, okay, this is very important. The choice to see oneself is a choice one may make. That choice leads us to consciousness. Consciousness is like a space or a bubble that exists beyond the reaches of the mind. The mind is extremely powerful and basically powers this whole experience, right? We all have one. We all uniquely create our mind. And we use a filter. We have a primary fear of mine are different than someone else's, right? It roots back to an event, which you then layer out and create your reality, and then you're projecting out of that. And your reality is now sort of like a waterway against feeling that area. So your reality is truly created in fear until you begin to observe the mind. While projecting from the mind, you'll be creating a reality that is distinctly created to bridge away from feeling your primary fears. That's a huge concept. Choosing to observe those fears and see yourself and where your fears started, and choosing to see those events, and basically just choosing to see your fears and all the layers. Okay, it's tough to go right to the deepest layer. You're going to want to start on the outside. Choosing to see yourself and observe the areas in which are guarded most deeply. That's the choice that allows you to project outside of the mind, and then you'll feel as though you have a choice. So if you're in the mind all day long, it's like a loop. Even saying I have a choice, your mind will control that. Your mind, remember, you're creating this thing to block you from feeling things that you don't want to feel. And you're incredibly powerful, but there's a layer between you and the rest of the world. There's like a delay. This whole reality is a delay. Real time is before the mind grabs your reality and projects it out. That space, real time, even before real time, is consciousness. Observing and creating a reality outside the mind. And these concepts are just, they're just like, just astronomical. I mean, I never would have believed it myself unless I went down that path. And others don't need to slice their wrist open and have their reality just flipped upside down. That was my choice. Because I chose on a level that I knew was there, but I couldn't define. I didn't step outside and go, okay, here's time to go fall on some solar panels. That's how I did it. Time to go, it's Tuesday. I got to go, turn my life around. Time to go fall on some panels and observe myself and see a space of consciousness. Yeah, I don't think it really happens like that. It's more like you're walking around, you're like, I don't feel like me. I feel like there's something that's not me. This and what people are seeing and this doesn't feel like me. There's something going on here. And we try and find it. And it's when we choose to see this way, right? Even using the mirror to see yourself. Your eyes go that way. Choosing to observe yourself. One of those things. And like, oh, what's that? And okay, there's that. And right? See yourself. And then you may find that choice is more accessible. When you're in your mind, you may not find that you're able to choose because you're controlled. You're controlled by something that you created. Okay, you created this thing to control your focus, and it's a lot stronger than we may give it credit for. Okay, awesome. That felt great. Choice. You do have a choice. Choose to see yourself, and you may find that your choices will expand. Thank you again. My name is Beau Flasher. Thank you for joining me.